So what should you do when it comes to bookkeeping or accounting software for your Shopify or Amazon business? Now, the solutions I'll be talking about here today will apply to both and are great for any one of those e-commerce platforms that may want to end up expanding to other platforms in the future. Okay, so if that's something that interests you, be sure you stay tuned. Now, this is one of the aspects of running a business that we really don't want to think about until we realize that we're running blind without it. Accounting software is what's actually going to help us be able to see a clear picture of where all the money's going. Now, I came to realize that it was really important, especially back in the day when I had a physical products brand. I realized that I didn't really have any insight or have any idea of how much product I needed to order, especially when you get into situations where you have long lead times. If you're waiting, you got to wait 60, 90 days, if not more, to actually receive your product, right? From the day you order to the day that you actually have it ready to sell and ship out to customers. I started realizing that, I had no idea how much I needed or how much I was going to need, 60, 90 days down the road. And that's kind of the trajectory of what I needed to look at. On top of that, I couldn't really know what my profitability was, to the penny, month by month, right? I was kind of just winging it and kind of just, I would just do quick calculations at the end of the month and decide, hey, that's an idea of how much cash I have, so on and so forth. But when you're running a physical products business, you really have to be on top of it because there's a thing about being cash poor, right? You might be making revenue, right? Your business is growing, but you're in a situation where, you're don't have the cash because you're continually pouring cash into inventory. So that's where these books become so important. Now, when it comes to what options you have for accounting software, you're really going to see two big players, right? The two biggest players. That's going to be QuickBooks and Xero. Now, my personal favorite is QuickBooks. I won't really touch much on Xero. They're quite similar, but I've used QuickBooks. That's kind of what I started off on. It's going to be the most popular platform out there. So for me, it made more sense because I knew if I ever ran into any issues or whatever the case may be, that it wasn't going to be too hard for me to find someone who actually knew how QuickBooks worked and would be able to help me fix whatever problems I had. Now, one of the dope things about QuickBooks is that it's truly built to scale with you, right? Until you need to actually switch to enterprise software. Now, you'll notice that with QuickBooks, you're going to be able to do pretty much all you need to get from, I would say, from 100,000 to even 100 million on QuickBooks. It's once you start getting to like one of those really more complex businesses, right? When you're $1 billion business and you need to get really down to the brass tacks of things, that's whenever you can move to a more enterprise type of software, right? One of those more complex or more customizable softwares. But this accounting software, QuickBooks, is really going to be able to hold it down for you. Now, this is clear when it comes to their increasingly sophisticated reporting features. Now, other than that, I would say that the two softwares seem pretty similar when it comes to QuickBooks and Xero. I will say, though, that when it comes to app design, I will say that Xero seems a lot more tailored towards accountants and bookkeepers, whereas QuickBooks Online is geared a lot more towards small business owners, right? Now, either way, you'll be able to find an accountant and bookkeeper in both camps to be able to take care of you because these platforms are both pretty popular. Now, when it comes to features of QuickBooks, I'm going to be focusing on the first two plans that they really offer, okay? It's going to be Simple Start and Essentials. I think most Shopify and Amazon sellers will be fine with the Simple Start plan, but if you need something more complex because of, you need more users or you're using multi-currency, which is the situation that I'm currently in, then Essentials plan will be the best one for you. Now, you'll get all the obvious stuff that I think that now is pretty standard when it comes to these softwares. You'll be able to link all your accounts and automatically pull in transactions, which back in the day, that was really, the tough part of doing the bookkeeping, right? It was you would have to literally compile or gather all the transactions, all the information from all over, right? If you had 10 bank accounts, you had to just pull all the transactions, all the information from the 10 bank accounts and then try to consolidate it, right? Nowadays, all that's kind of happening in the background with these softwares. Then you're able to really set rules to be able to automatically label transaction categories. Though I will say you want to be careful when you're using that. On top of that, you'll even be able to create reports that can get really granular. You can really go as deep as you want to go, and they can help you see exactly where your sales are coming from, what's causing the highest expenses in your business and so on and so forth. Now, I think this is a game changer because a lot of times it might be a situation where, let's say you're running your business, you have 10 products, right? And maybe 3 products are giving you the most revenue, but then there's 2 or 3 products that they're not giving you near as much revenue, but their expenses are way higher, right? To where it might make sense for you to cut off those products so you can focus on growing the remaining 7 products in that example, right? That's kind of how you want to look at it when it comes to you pulling up these reports. The great thing is with QuickBooks, you can actually, you can tag different transactions, different sales, whatever the case may be. You can deep dive in these reports and be able to see exactly where your resources should be focused on. Now, this is exactly what I was able to do. This actually helped me deep dive into one of my biggest expenses, which was software subscriptions. And I was able to see which ones I may not need and could actually be able to get rid of. Now, when it comes to using QuickBooks with Shopify and Amazon, which, by the way, that's what my company specializes with. I'll put a link down below if you actually need help with your bookkeeping for your Shopify or Amazon store. You can reach out to us. But I recommend that there's a smooth way to connect them. I recommend you don't connect directly your Shopify or Amazon store directly to QuickBooks, right? The reason why is because if you try to just find any old app, you got to be really careful, okay? You got to be really careful because what can happen is they can start just throwing a bunch of data into your QuickBooks account, okay? And you don't want that because now you're going to be sifting through more information. It's going to cause you to take even longer to be able to actually get your books in order. I recommend that you actually use a different software, a different method that is kind of like a middleman to make sure that only the good information gets over there, right? That's what's going to make your monthly bookkeeping even less complicated, right? Even easier to get through by using this method. So what you want to do to correctly link QuickBooks to your store, right? You want to use an app called A2X. Now, A2X is going to be a sort of middleman, and the way it works is it's going to allow you to be able to just sift through the data it receives from your store and send it directly to your QuickBooks account, right? And the great thing is it works as a middleman to make sure that A, only information that you want makes it all the way through, and B, it's going to make sure that it already matches with your chart of accounts, okay? And what that means is it just makes sure that it's dumping transactions into the right categories in your QuickBooks account. So all you literally need to do is you can go into your A2X and it's going to let you match your chart of accounts in the different payment gateways and Shopify as well as Amazon so that it can all seamlessly just transfer your information over. Now, if you need help with this, guys, shoot me an email. My team can work it with you or help work you through all that and set it up correctly. So I'll put a link in the description, or if you don't see you can't find the information, just throw a comment and then we'll try to reply to your comment. Also, if you guys want me to shoot a more detailed video of the setup process, let me know. That might be something that I can take the time out and shoot a video to show you guys how to get that all set up, okay? But this will make sure that only the important information that can help you reach your end goal, financial clarity in your business, will actually be pushed to QuickBooks. So hopefully you can see where I'm leaning when it comes to the best software available. I'm QuickBooks hands down, and I think this is going to be the best way for you to use it and the best way for you to actually link it to your e-commerce platform of choice, okay? So be sure that you check out my new channel that's going to be focused on accounting and bookkeeping tactics specifically for online sellers. I'll link to it up here, specifically Amazon and Shopify sellers, okay? So click that button. Also, I'll put a button here for a playlist that I'll be creating that will also put all those videos in one place as well for you, okay? So make sure you email us down below if you'd like more information on how we can help you fully set up your QuickBooks account or even do your monthly bookkeeping for you. We would be happy to help. All right, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.